Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, my single solitary viewer, and welcome to NHL 20 Franchise Mode. We're in the second season, and we're on a hot streak. And the Quebec City Double Butts, aka the Assassins, are now facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are the best team in the league this year so far. So we come from a humble expansion team to trying to challenge the top dogs, the Maple Leafs. And we're going to have to see how that goes. But yeah, obviously they didn't go well on that play. If you noticed, my guy had intercepted the pass, but before I could do anything, right here he gets his stick lifted. No chance. I even slowed it down for you, but no chance to even do anything because the stick lift came so quick. So, like, interception, then intercepted again, double interception, and the Leafs score. There's just nothing I can do. The computer is just, you know... Well, what I can do is actually take a point shot and get it deflected in front. That always works. So I do believe that's Dennis Gurianov who deflects this one. Nope, no, that's actually Big Joe Thornton. So Thornton gets the goal, and we tied the game up. Well, okay, all right. Nylander with a big one here. A setup pass from Austin Matthews right there. Big one-timer with a screen here working against John Gibson, our goaltender. Maybe he could have stopped it, I guess. But, I mean, at least, you know, it was a legit big chance to score there. And now to really hurt me in my deepest feelings, in my heart, Matthew Pekka scores. Now, of course, you're wondering, Flues, I have no idea who Matthew Pekka is. And my point is, exactly. Matthew Pekka is actually an AHL caliber player. I mean, he's a good guy, he's a good kid, but he's not talented at all. And he just manages to score a beaut. And look at Kapanen here, faking. What is this? Soccer? My goodness. Not only do the Leafs pick up a big win here, cementing their status as like the team to beat this season, but like they have a diving player too. Can't believe it. But there are still some games to go. The season, well, is still young. We've just passed the trade deadline. Time is running out, but there's still time. There's still a lot of games to play, and we could potentially steal the President's Trophy away from Toronto. That's possible. We can do it. So before the trade deadline, I offered Riley Sheehan a contract just to help out the farm team, and the guys like Riley, Gaudreau, and of course Marcus KRUGER, among others, who I decided to re-sign, most of them for the farm team for the next season. I've decided to accept the contract offers, and they'll be back unless I trade them. But, you know, we get to overtime against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, sometimes I just work way too hard to try and squeeze in that Foosmaker special, and it actually backfires. But thankfully I can intercept passes and... Okay, I can intercept passes, and then they can just grab the pass that I intercepted right back. Because why not? Why even bother playing defensively if the game is just going to sabotage me like this? Damn you, game! Alright, so we lose to the Leafs, we lose to the Penguins. So long as we don't, like, meet those teams in the playoffs, we're good. New Jersey. 2-2, or now it's 3-2 for the Quebec Double Butts. Samuel Blais just hops on that rebound. He won the face-off. And, of course, Manson tees off. No, wait, that's not Manson. That's Cam Fowler. Fowler tees off, and Samuel Blais picks up the rebounds, just shovels it in the net. That's the type of old-fashioned, hard-working goal I like to see. And here's a big slap shot from Alex Pietrangelo. That's why I always like to mix things up with a lot of point shots when I can. So sometimes I try to do the Foosmaker special, the cross-crease pass, but to mix things up so the other team doesn't perpetually just defend that, I mix things up, and I make sure to spread them thin by involving the defenseman on the point a lot as I can. Because you can never know, there's deflections, and there's straight up big shots. Next game, again, overtime. It's against Boston, and we win this one. No problem. Alex WENNBERG with the setup, and he's turning out to be a pretty good acquisition, I would say, against Derek Brassard. And, of course, the man who finishes the play. That's how you get it done. In overtime with Daniel Sprong. And that's a 4-3 win against Boston. Now we're starting to reverse the momentum, and we're getting basically to the final game of the season. I skipped a lot of stuff because it was basically smooth sailing for a long, long while. And here you got Martindale just lighting it up against the Buffalo Sabres, who are not doing well this season. They're not going to be in the playoffs, but Quebec City is. It's a 5-2 final score with a hat trick for Elijah Martindale. But of course, Anderson and Werenski do their parts as well. That's the final game of the season. And it's been a good season, but no, we did not catch up to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the President's Trophy winners. They are the team that has amassed the most points during the season, and they'll have the most favorable spots in the NHL playoffs. But we are second in the conference with 50 wins. That's really quite a strong performance, especially considering this is basically an expansion team. It actually is an expansion team. Not basically, it actually is. And there's a very high goals per game average, and some pretty good defense too. It's not necessarily the absolute best defense. That again goes to the Leafs, and then the Coyotes, who are actually the second best team in the league. Maybe we're going to see them, or perhaps the Blues or the Jets in the Stanley Cup final, if we can get there. That's a big if we can get there, because to get to the Stanley Cup finals, obviously, we would have to get past the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tall order. 41 goals and 40 assists for Elijah Martindale in his second season. 40 goals, that's starting to be a lot. 30 for Josh Anderson. Now, Pietrangelo has almost 1 point per game and a plus-minus of 44. I think he's a strong contender for the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman of the year. Connor Sheary has a good season, so did Werenski. WENNBERG, who started in the fourth line for Columbus, has picked things up and managed to get almost 60 points, just one short. But 3-game winners. Sprong, also just short of 30 goals, but a really strong season considering the ice time, limited ice time. Blais did well, but was injured for a while, so he doesn't have as many points. Toffoli did actually quite well, considering he too had restricted ice time. Nichushkin, over 20 goals, not a whole lot of assists, though I was expecting more. And then, Big Joe, Gurianov, KRUGER, they did their part. Not everyone can get maximal ice time, so, that's how the cookie crumbles. Jordan SCHMALTZ not only scored his first NHL goal, but he scored his 3 first NHL goals. And of course, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who was a callback at the very, very end of the season after trading Xavier Ouellet, only got like 5 games in, so he didn't get a single point yet. And the goaltenders have a .9 save percentage. That's pretty good. I'd hope for a little better, but that's pretty good. They did well. They also have a good goals against averages. So we're ready to go in the playoffs. Playoffs, round 1, Boston, Quebec City. And actually I dropped I missed the initial face-off, but don't worry. We've got this. We've beaten them before. Okay. That was fast and disappointing, but it's David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak is quite a shot, but still does feel like, it feels like Gibson should have had that one. That's what it feels like. But I can counterattack and not score, but come close. Werenski and with a big shot from Pietrangelo. And just keep hustling, and you can get back into it. It's just a 1 goal. It's just a 2 goal deficit that needs to be... That was a backhand. Oh, man. Okay, it feels a little bit like John Gibson should have gotten that one. But I can hustle and get it off the post. No problem. It's only a 2-goal deficit. And now we have a power play. And a big slap shot from Zach Werenski. And there was some traffic in front to block Tukarask's view. Just a little bit, just enough. But not enough, of course, traffic in front of the net to block the shot. So that's a big, big booming shot. And we're back in this game. It's 2-1 Boston. And I love being able to intercept a pass, but then actually make a turnover that's worse than my great defensive plays. Whereas if I had been bad defensively and not made the turnover, it would have been better. And now it ends up into a goal. Pasternak's second goal of the game. Hi. And that's another backhand, though this time actually there was no chance for the goalie to get this. It's not a weakness, it's not a weak goal or anything. I'm desperately trying to get back into this, but we got another power play. We're 1-1 on power plays. Oh, and just knocking at the door over here. Tukarask just doesn't want to let go. Trying real hard to set up some real strong scoring opportunities. Even Hitler's got a stab at the rebound was not enough. But this time it is. Number 20 puts it in. If you get number 20, well, that's right, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Daniel Sprong. And that was actually a big shot, rebounds, nothing Tukarask can do. That was overall a good setup on the power play, and nifty play. Someone gets another penalty, and it's another Boston player. Could we be 3-3 in the power play? How dare you trip Martindale? My goodness. But unfortunately, hey, Sprong decided to take a penalty himself, negating the power play. Just basically only one scoring chance out of this. Now here, Fowler should have gotten that puck in the corner. Did not for some miracle. That gives the puck back to Boston and leads directly to a goal. And you can tell I was very mad about this because I skipped over the replay entirely. And that's all you get. But yeah, in the corner, Cam Fowler should have gotten the puck. But this is a big one. Valery Nichushkin on a breakaway, just poking the puck away from the last man back, last D-man. And he just goes off on a breakaway. Simple deke, but it's the simple kind of deke that I'm able to not F up. The simpler it is, the less are my chances of effing it up. So it works. It works. Yeah, that's why it works so often for me, because I'm the odds of me messing up are low. Cam Fowler gets hooked, so there's a penalty on the play, and we're gonna get another power play for Quebec City. Maybe you can tie this game? Yes, we can. Big booming shot by Samy Blais, and there we go. 4-4. When this game started, the first period, and they had scored their 2 first goals, John Gibson being rather weak, I thought, well, all right, we can forget game 1. But no need to forget, it's 4-4. It's a brand new game. Here comes Werenski. Pass in front. And we got that one-timer goal, that sweet Flusmaker special with a cross-crease pass. And you know who scored it. That's right. Sprung gets another goal, his second of the game. I think that makes up for the time he ruined the power play by taking a penalty. But Boston is still fighting, despite the fact that for the first time in the game, Quebec City's got the lead. Just working hard at trying to limit their chances, defensively speaking. and make sure that the shots they do get are not so threatening. Because especially after the first 2 of their goals, the weakest shot is threatening. Here's a second goal for Valery Nichushkin. He deserves that one because I think that breakaway goal just turned everything around, and that's what leads to this 6-4 Game 1 victory. Game 1 is in the bag. Now on to Game 2. We're going to start doing some simulations and intervening when necessary, but oof, not necessary this time it looks like. Pierre-Olivier Joseph actually has 2 goals, his 2 first for the team, and he's on the team because 5 games before the end of the season, Josh Manchin got injured, number 42 on the blue line, and he's been replaced by Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who now gets the first star in game number 2 with the game-winning goal, among other things. But Cam Fowler and Joe Thornton also, contribute quite a bit. Game 3 is up ahead, and we're starting out with some simulations, but this time Pasternak and Richie get on the board, giving the Bruins a 2-1 lead heading into period number 3. And we've got the draw. It's important to win those. Oh, yes. Elijah Martindale with a beauty, but that was just... Sometimes I'm in the zone right off the opening face-off because a lot of patience making the pass with WENNBERG over to the right side to Anderson, and then just beautifully butterflies it across the crease right over to Elijah Martindale, who rarely misses that kind of opportunity. Here comes Sprong now, and Guryanov actually takes control in the corner to the point. Cam Fowler with the booming slap shots from the blue line, and it goes in. I love using the D to make some shots, to spread out the defense thin, but also get some goals. I tend to build my teams with a strong blue line in terms of getting some goals as well. And it's no different this time. I got Werenski and Pietrangelo, Manson, and, well, Manson's injured, but Cam Fowler and Manson normally are the second pair, and they all can contribute. But Jordan SCHMALTZ contributed in his own way with a little bit of a trip there. That was actually all on me, the user. I tried to take a shortcut. Shortcuts be bad. Don't take shortcuts, kids. The referee sees you. But there you go, big pass in front, but Gibson is holding on strong until, unfortunately, just Boston just overwhelms with their offense. Of course, it's a lot easier to do when you're on the power play. Obviously, you've got a bit of a numbers advantage, but Marchand here can score one, tie this game back up because I failed. I was not good enough. Here comes Thornton over to Guryanov. Big slap shot, top corner, does not miss. This type of goal I don't see as often in All-Star, because usually I used to be a pro level player, you see, and I upgraded to All-Star for more challenge because I felt like I was starting to be too good for pro, which is true. And here comes Blais. No, that's actually Elijah Martindale with the second goal of the game again. Picking up the rebounds from the point shot. I don't think the point shot actually went through, but Martindale picks it up. Yeah, I don't think it ever actually went through. But the free puck goes on Martindale's stick, and of course Rask was not expecting that to happen. And just for the heck of it, we're going to give Elijah Martindale a hat trick in that empty netter. This game is done. And the Quebec City Assassins now take a 3-0 3 games to none in this series. Boston is up against the wall. They're in a bad situation, just like they were last year. And now they're basically the same team, except Zdeno Chara retired, and he's now my scout. So this is game 4. It's 2-2 in the third period. What's going to happen? WENNBERG back to Anderson, and he somehow gets the shot off. And through all that traffic and being hit at the same time, doesn't matter. he still got it done. He sacrificed a lot, and finally he gets his first of the playoff after setting his line mates up in the previous games. But the Bruins are not done fighting. Krejci there just tried and failed to level the game up. But unfortunately, this loose puck, and it ends up on Blaise' stick for the breakaway. And just take the pants right off of Tuukka Rask and says, "Here, do you mind tripping on these while I just deposit the puck behind you?" That was, again, it's a variation on my very simple deke, as I said. To me, there's no real advantage for me to make the really complicated dekes that the truly talented NHL players, and by I mean the NHL, the E-game. Unfortunately, that was, I can't win a corner battle. Two guys still lose the corner battle, and of course, Boston winning that corner battle, just put it in front, no chance for Gibson. I need someone to give me a tutorial on how to win corner battles, because I'm just terrible at it. And there you go, John Moore with a huge slapper from the blue line. That's not the... I don't know if he's really the guy you expect to see all those goals from, but he only needs that one. And that game is tied back up. It's 4-4. And with 30 seconds left, we're heading to overtime, right? Oh no. Hey, big save by John Gibson for a change. And Forbort will take the puck out. Pass over to... Oh, no. Fast does not get it. It's intercepted. Off the post. That could have ended right there. But no, the post is my friend. Friend to Quebec City. Ooh, Toffoli just took one for the team there. Ooh, you can see that when I don't have the momentum, there's just nothing I can do. The Boston pressure is intense, but unfortunately they run out of time in this third period, and we are indeed going to overtime. Just wonder if Toffoli is going to be able to shake off the cobwebs. If you look at the shots, Boston has the advantage in this game, 30 shots to 25, and I feel they're favored. Oh, another post! They just shot it off the post again! And here comes Pierre-Olivier Joseph over to Sheary. Sheary, long pass to Blaine. He scores! He scores, and this one is over. It's over. Over for Boston in 4 games. I'm sweeping that trash away. Sweep, sweep, sweep the trash away. And the big B on their jerseys for butts. I'm sweeping them butts off. Okay, this is turning into like a little bit creepy. Let's be sportsmanlike and do the handshakes. That's probably better. But yeah, we have 4 games, and round 1 of the playoffs is over. That is quite a performance upgrade compared to the previous year, where we did not beat Boston in 4. I think it was at least 5 or 6 games, but we did beat them. That was the whole point. We did beat them, and we beat them again this time. Suck it, Boston. And Josh Manson will be back on the roster. He's finally healed up, but the person who will be on the bench will actually be Jordan Schmaltz. Pierre-Olivier Joseph has just more chemistry with the team. He has a +3 chemistry when he's on the second pair, but he's just not quite ready for that type of responsibility yet. So he'll be on the third pair for now. And next round, we're facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, the toughest team in the league. So maybe this is actually going to be a short playoff run. Because Toronto and Quebec are in the same division, they are going to be facing off round number 2. There's other teams involved, but I don't care about them because they don't have to fight against the Maple Leafs. By the way, Arizona, who is the second best team in the league, they're out. And so am I. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Sponsored by the Flues Crew on Patreon.